Hello everybody, this is Jeffrey GT7 and welcome to the episode. And this episode is going to be all about the McLaren MP4 at Sardegna. I have done this car in track combination for quite a while in these last couple of years since this car has been into the game. It's been about 4 months since I've done this car at this particular track, and between that time there's been a couple of updates and a couple of changes with the PP system, so I thought tonight would be a quite good opportunity chance to do an up-to-date build. Now I did mention it was going to be a double build between this and the Volkswagen VGT, but I decided just to go ahead and just do this one run. So let's go ahead and get straight to it. So if you guys are wondering on how to get the car, here it is right here at the Legends Car dealership, and you might be saying, well, 12 million credits seems a lot, and yes, I do agree with you with that. Despite it being a very historical car, of course driven by Ayrton Senna, this is his car, and being a historic F1 car, really is well worth it. Now let's say if you don't want to spend those credits and if you want to figure out an alternative route to get this car, there actually is a way to get this car for free, but I'm going to warn you, it's going to be very tricky, challenging, and pretty much demanding in order for this to work. So go to your license center, and if you haven't unlocked the master class, as you can see here, the super master license, if you manage to get all gold in the super license for the masters, you will get this car for free. But again, like I mentioned before, it's going to be very challenging and very demanding. So if you want to take a crack at it, you have my luck on that. If you guys want to check out the livery, here's the livery I'll be using for this race. Now the livery doesn't really matter in this particular race, but if you want to have a fresh coat of paint in your current car or for this car, then there you go right there. Just search for the hashtags. A very nice looking Red Bull with the special Johnny player colors. Look pretty nice on that car. Now for the build setup, it's pretty simple. Here's the only one picture I have for my build. So if you want to go ahead and just pause the episode and just manually copy the numbers. Now for the transmission, if you're curious, the top speed is 350 and that's going to be it. I didn't do anything special to the transmission. So everything you see is what you get. And let's go ahead and get started with the race. Now for this particular race, my strategy is going to be for the first lap, we're going to run on field map 1 mix. And then from lap 2 on, we're going to be back and forth between map 2, maybe sometimes on map 3, and right there at the end, possibly map 5. But for right now, we're going to be more focused on trying to get as many places as possible for our first lap. And the car actually does feel smooth overall, even though you did see the car go pretty crazy loose on that first turn. But the handling itself, you probably have to worry about maybe a teensy bit of oversteer, but the car is going to be a little bit on the tight side, so it should be a fairly nice balance overall for this car. As we make our way through the field, we're just about outside the top 10. We're going to send this car into this corner, and we're going to pick ourselves a couple places, up to 8th place. The car, since this is an F1 historic car, as you guys may already figure out, this car is going to be the lightest out of the whole class in this race. Braking should be the best, acceleration should be the best, possibly, even though we have a manual transmission. And the way it just picks up speed after you go through gears 2, 3, 4, etc., it just really can just gain the power in this car. For fuel economy, it's not really the best, even for it being an F1 car. We still need to do 1 pit stop at a minimum for this race, but as you can see, first lap didn't too bad. We actually go ahead to map number 2 from last place to 3rd. And if you're curious what the AI difficulty is, it is set to medium. So if you do this on easy, medium, or hard, you really shouldn't have any issues in this particular race, because this track does have a couple of parts of it. There is quite a bit of downforce, and the more downforce you have in this particular car, the better it'll feel. And you can see we're just making a lot of time in these corners, especially the mid to slow speed corners. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves a good run on the Viper. We're going to send it a little bit later in the corner and brake halfway, get ourselves a nice apex, and get ourselves the race lead right in the halfway lap 2. Fast forward to lap 5, it's going to be our official hot lap for the race. I really encourage you guys to watch this hot lap then I'll see you guys when we get to our pit stop strategy. Alright, so here we're on lap 6 now. We're actually going to stretch it to lap 7, but we're going to go ahead and move our map to number 3. About halfway through lap 6 is where I recommend doing it, or even beforehand. As we fast forward to the end of lap 7, we actually did make it to pit road, which was great. All I'll be doing here is just refilling the car with fuel. The tires are still in good shape since we got our racing hards on the car. You shouldn't really have to worry about with any tire wear or tire degradation in this race. The only thing is to worry about is the fuel. All I'm going to do here is just of course fill it up all the way up to 100% with fuel, and we'll actually have to do a little bit better job at saving fuel for the second stint, so that way we can actually make it for the rest of the race. So we're going to leave it right on map number 2, and then a bit later in the race, once we get closer to finish, we're going to actually move our map to number 3 momentarily, and then once we approach the last lap, we're going to go to extreme fuel save mode, and we're going to actually add it up to 5. Now, theoretically, I would recommend doing 6, and it actually did pay back on me later at the end of the race. So, unfortunately, I should have chose 6 at this point, so just make sure you just choose 6 if we decide to do all this fuel mapping. So, as we come to the finish of the race, as you can see, we're now 0-0, and we're going to actually start coasting right here. Losing it a couple seconds, which is actually pretty unfortunate, but still overall a very good run, not to mention a little bit slightly faster than our previous build. So if we didn't coast, we probably could have ran maybe a 24, 20, 20, something like that. Very smooth, solid build, if that's what you're looking for. Very smooth. So if you do have the car, I hope you have it. You can try it out. Got ourselves that sweet, clean race bonus for this race. And that's going to be pretty much be it for this episode. So if you guys are wondering what the next preview episode is, I might actually do a double episode. We'll just have to wait and see how it comes along. But of course, like I promised, I'm going to do the VGT Volkswagen convertible Group 3 race car. Tested it out. Actually is pretty good, even though the thing I kind of wish was a bit better would be probably the overall fuel economy. I'm still playing with it a little bit, so hopefully whenever I do show my run with this car, it actually would be not only good on speed, but also pretty decently good on fuel as well. So I'm looking forward to do my little magic on that car, see what I can come up with this car, and hopefully make it competitive and yet fun at Sardegna. And then I thought, what would be a good opportune time to do an up-to-date build using the Nismo 400R at Expressway. I do have the car personally in my garage. I do know that it's actually recently been added back to the Lexus car dealership, and that car itself is overall a pretty solid pick for Tokyo Expressway 600. So that's going to be probably the main theme for the next episode. So if you guys enjoyed the episode, why not go ahead and leave a like. If you want to check out my other social accounts, so they are right there. If you guys, matter of fact, enjoyed today's episode, why not go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you have any request builds, you're more than welcome to put them in the comments, and I'll do my best to grant those wishes. And with that all being said, hopefully you guys have a great rest of the day or night for it might be, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.